Welcome to Word for Wednesday. This is Rita Langeland from Hidden with Christ Ministries. Some seasons of our lives are harder than others, but God is faithful in them all. When I was a child, my family and I lived just outside of Washington, D.C., and my parents would take us on the weekends into the city to see the amazing sights that you could see there, museums, the monuments. And I remember so many of those places, though I was very young. But one sight I will never forget is the sight of the cherry trees blossoming in springtime that were planted along the Potomac River. Literally thousands of them had been planted back in 1912 when the nation of Japan gave over 3,000 cherry trees to the United States as a gift of friendship. Well, those cherry trees continue to blossom every springtime, and it is a sight that many people come from around the country and even from around the world to see because it's so outstanding. And even as a young child, I remember that amazing sight of the glorious blossoms with trees lined up along the riverbank as far as the eye could see. And it was so very beautiful. And it happened every single springtime. But there was something that I learned later on in life that I never understood about cherry trees. And that was that those blossoms will never come forth unless that tree has gone through a deep, chilling winter season. If for some reason a winter was particularly unseasonably warm, the cherry tree will not bud or blossom. So the chilling effect of that winter season was actually required to produce the beauty that we enjoy of cherry trees and blossom during the springtime. It's a lot like our lives. There are difficult seasons that we pass through, and what comes forth from those difficult seasons would never have come forth if it wasn't for that season of difficulty. We don't gain the same insights from a bountiful, easy season as we do from the difficult seasons of our lives. But the truth is, how we respond to the difficult season will actually determine whether the fruit that comes forth from it is sweet or whether it is bitter. God intends for all of our lives to be fruitful, full of good fruit. That was God's intention when He created us. In fact, Jesus said in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 5, that there was really only one way for us to be fruitful, and that was by abiding in Him. John 15:5 says, I'm the vine and you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. The word abide means to remain joined or to stay united with. And it's the person who remains joined or united with Christ that will be fruitful in his life. Yet the truth is, many people actually pull away from God when they're going through a difficult season. Instead of remaining joined, they pull back, question God's goodness, question His love, question if He's abandoned them when they're going through a difficult season. Perhaps you've observed it. Perhaps you've experienced it. And yet the truth is, when we are going through a difficult season, that is the time to pull closer, to draw in closer to the Lord instead of pulling away. The Passion Translation of John 15:5 reads this way, and it's so beautiful. It says, I am the sprouting vine, and you are my branches. As you live in union with me as your source, fruitfulness will stream from within you. But when you live separated from me, you are powerless. When we pull away from God, we are literally disconnecting ourselves from our power source. We are rendered powerless. Don't allow a challenging season to stumble you and to cause you to pull away from God and question God and ask, are you even there? Do you even exist? Do you not love me? Have you forgotten me? Don't let a challenging season tempt you to give in to those pressures on your emotions. Instead, I would recommend that you do speak to the Lord about the season, but do it this way, full of faith and confidence in God. Tell the Lord, he already knows anyway, I don't understand what is happening in this season, but I choose to trust you in the middle of it. I choose to believe your love for me. I choose to believe you're going to pull me through this season, and I refuse to question your goodness. I choose to press in closer to you, and I believe you'll bring forth good fruit from this season of my life. Then in difficult times, I'll add one more prayer that you can pray that is found in Psalm 57, verse 1. King David wrote this when he was being hounded by and chased by a man who's trying to kill him. You could say it was a very difficult season. He prayed this way, be merciful to me, O God, for my soul trusts in you, and in the shadow of your wings, I will make my refuge until these calamities have passed by. First of all, he told the Lord, I trust you. Secondly, he said, I'm going to make you my refuge. I'm going to hide under the shadow of your wings. And thirdly, he said, until these calamities pass by. He fully expected the calamities to pass by. He didn't question, what? Are you trying to get me killed here? Are you going to abandon me? I'll die at the hands of this wicked man. He never questioned God. He believed God would pull him out of this situation. God will do that for you also. You're in a difficult season, but God's giving you a word today, and the word is, trust me, take refuge in me. I will pull you through. Be of good cheer. Springtime is coming. That's your word for Wednesday.